enveloped in, right? I did it a couple of times last week, and what I showed people, what I did was I said a word, and I said, okay, now I got to draw a picture right here, this is what I see, and then I told them what the definition was. It wasn't an easy word, it wasn't easy words, and they looked up the definition, literally, they were pulling up the exact definition. Well, the definition was it's word by word what I said. It's not me. It's just I'm not so dumb when I have a picture in front of me. Give me a pictogram. You see a telegram, make it a pictogram. No words, no tele, just pictogram. Crackers. Give me something to eat. Send me a gram, and that ain't it. I make pictures of this so I can see, right? And so I can't exactly explain what I see right now, but I see this boy walking into, it's not a crowd, it's like a enveloping of something something otherworldly. These are not people. I see this boy walking into the midst of, he's like a stick to that lollipop, right? He walked into the midst of it. He's obviously different, but he walked into the midst of it. So because he did it, what does Psalm 1 tell us that they are allowed to do? He walked into the riot and became righteous. He wasn't righteous before he walked in, but he walked into the riot and became righteous because he became one of them. They were righteous. He didn't make them righteous, but he walked into it. See, the big brother was talking about the riot before the little brother walked out of the house. Because they didn't care about it. It didn't affect them necessarily, but when a little brother left, we now have a person that's supposed to be tethered to us, working with us on our side. We have him roaming around in the middle of righteous. Holy Spirit just let me know he was the son until he decided to go. More often than not, the biggest things that happen in our lives we do to ourselves, and then we blame the cops. They are just responding well to what you did. You did it. You caused this. If I don't want to get arrested for stealing cars, I'm saying where I'm at in my apartment doing blogs and art. I'm not going to go outside and steal a car and then get mad at the cop when he arrests me. The older brother mentioned righteous once the little brother came back. Now, remember this, Henry. How do you know what he was doing? How did the older brother know what the little brother was doing? Luke chapter 15, I believe. It says that he said that the older brother said his little brother was engaging in righteous living. Meaning, while he's living, everything he's doing is consisting of righteous. Everything he's doing is consistent of righteous. I literally felt like everything I touched was sin. Yeah, that's crazy. I know. I felt like, right? Because you're outside the will of God for your life. I didn't listen. See what happens when you don't listen? The same thing happened to Saul. Saul didn't listen, right? The Amalekites didn't listen, so he's rejected as king of Israel. Whatever you got going or whatever you go walk into, right? Spiritually, if God has set that aside for you, right? He can choose to, because you have stopped listening, he can choose to let that go. Saul, nothing was taken from Saul. Saul gave up, and he didn't listen. What happens if you change the rules when you don't listen? You change the rules. What is yours, and definitely yours, and will be yours, is now not. Because you did not listen. This kid did not listen. And so he walked out of his house with a pocket full of money, and immediately his pockets developed holes, right? Everything he touched, while you're in the Father's house, everything you touch turns to gold. Because it's blessed. Because you're doing what you're supposed to do. But when you leave, and he had permission, he kept asking. So Father said, here's your inheritance. Be careful when the things that you ask people for or ask people to do, or can I do this, can I do this? Kids, be careful when you ask your parents, can I do this, can I do that? And they say no, 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 no. And then you ask them again and they can say, okay, here. You ought not fear the no. What you should fear is the yes. What you should fear is, okay. He wanted to leave, so what happened? They let him go. And it was a kid that was living in riotous living, right? He was living riotously. I don't see him asking his father once and then just leaving. He might have. But that doesn't fit his personality. Someone asked that father once about something, will heed advice when it's given to them. Someone asked their father once about something, respects their father, right? And so when they get out, right, amongst the holes, pests, right? They won't think after they had left the father's house, spent their entire inheritance, they won't think and say, hey, I go back to the father and throw myself before him. See, one question does not begot, does not begotten, right? If I had one way in my personality, I probably don't have another. He was living in riots. Living inside of a riot, living in riots, right? It's not a riot like, B-O-M. No, it's not like that. It's a different type of riot. Because you have righteous living. What that indicates is not only are you in the middle of everything, but you are laying down seed and ground for things that will come back to you righteously, that you won't want back, but they are coming back to you. She left his house and immediately was in the middle of a riot. Had to be. Because the Bible doesn't describe any other type of living. He doesn't describe him as living in a shopping cart. They're living in the supermarket. They're living in zoo. They're living in riotous living. He didn't do that. He said his brother left here and engaged in riotous living. So I assume that everywhere the brother was living was righteous. Or he made righteous, or he engaged in righteous, or what he engaged in while he was on earth, he engaged in righteous stuff. I assume. Because when the brother lays it out for us, we don't really hear about what happened completely, right? Except to say there was a little, not so holy stuff going on, right? We don't hear about everything completely until with description, until the brother comes up and says, he was in righteous living. So how do you know? And see, he's not that the Bible doesn't mark this is a parable. And the Bible that Jesus himself is telling this parable, and it doesn't mark that the older brother was telling an untruth, which means we assume it was the truth. He was all right. Yes. See, now he's not in a riot. Because you don't listen, you end up in a riot. You think that what you're headed to is that's a riot. It's going to be a riot. But you don't get it. I know. Because you don't listen, you end up in a riot. Wait, I didn't think this would be that bad. But when you get a full taste of it, you're given carte blanche to go and do exactly what you want to do, and you get a full taste of it. You find out it does not taste like candy, it tastes like riot. But he didn't listen. And he kept going. He kept going. I know, because I did it. So it went straight from riotous into a band of people, right, that partied with him and took from him all that he honored, right? He lost his money partying with riotous people. And then when that happened, after they took everything from him like swarms of locusts, they walked away from him. Like swarms of locusts, and left him feeding pigs with husks, right? That I imagine looks like swarms of locusts. And so I love this part because the Bible says that he came to himself. I love this part because it points me back to the Passover in Genesis, right? Or Exodus, or Leviticus, or Numbers, or one of five. The Passover, when they're looking to leave, when the angel of death said, if I see the blood, I'll pass over. Whose blood? He said, when I see the blood, I'll pass over. Whose blood? It matters because we talk about the blood. I don't think we're singing it at the cross, where literally they sing it at their speed. Where after the twilight and the bird and the wind start out singing at that speed. My whole life we sing that at the cross. That's sad, right? But I got used to it because there should be some somberness with the communion. It should not be at the cross, where I first saw the light, right, with the keyboard. Because that's how you look at it when blood champagne is right behind it. And in that pain, in our pain of our slavery that we caused ourselves, someone now needs to buy us back. Because when you are walking in yourself and not listening, you are righteous and you will sell yourself into things that you should not be dealing with. This kid was a prince. You think, how do you know, Jamie? He had to be. He said, when I get back, I ain't going, the man not my father, but ask my father if I can work with the servants. He got servants, right? Here's the other part. So you're going to listen to the story. This I know he's talking about you and your prince, right? He hasn't got back. He said, ask my father if I can just work with the servants. He said, I am no longer worthy to be one of your sons. Make me one of your hired servants. Make me one of your hired servants. Which means there are people that are there that are hired, but that's not you. When you left, you dropped so far down that coming back in, you think you got to ask for a hired servant position. But you're not a hired servant. You are a prince. Why? Because this very man standing in front of you told a servant to go get a robe and some shoes and a ring. Excuse me? A ring, right? And then you're not getting married. But he got you a ring. You left with your inheritance, and you didn't drain him dry like that. You came back. You got more of that. You left with in your pocket. Right? Because you got a ring, and I want to know if K Jewelers is open at this time, or if he has these things as a king sitting off to the side. I don't know. Either way, you got a ring. You were coming back to him, and he saw you and ran to meet you. And it's beautiful. I love this part of the story because it shows me how God thinks. I got so mad when I saw it. But it shows me how God thinks. Because what you have to, as long as you get it, just get it and come back. Because here's the thing, that's you the son, right? You're the son, so he loves you. Just get it and come back. I don't care how you get it. Get it in the middle of your riots. I don't care. Because when do we hear the apology? How do we know he's going to apologize? He apologizes while he's in the pig pen. He apologized while he's hugging bacon. He down there, right, with the pigs. The pigs are eating us, and so he starts eating us too, because he ain't got no more money. So he feeds the pigs us, and he start eating it too. And he said, wait a minute, I'm not a pig though. What we must realize is that pigs were disgusting to people of that faith, of that belief. They were disgusting. So the fact that he was working with pigs, he has now cursed himself. But it's the only job that he could get. And he's got to eat. And the only thing that they could give him to eat or give him money for, right, is husks. Husks. I said, God, it's not like the world. Because the Bible talks about when Jesus fed the 5,000, right? He stood up, blessed the bread, and break it, and then it was passed out. That was bread. Bread has nutrition in it. It's packed with stuff, vitamins and stuff. It's got stuff in it. That's bread. These are husks. Jesus, right? He gave these people, the children of Israel, like these people, he gave them bread. But why does the prodigal son have husks? And then look, he made a journey from riotous, right, to moneyless. And now he's dignityless. He went from riotous to moneyless, and now he has no dignity either.